And our recent calculations, global and regional analysis, indicate that agroforestry is definitely expanding and expanding rapidly in many countries. And tree cover in the African drylands of over 10% is shown on this area of red in the map here. And so we have the ability now to further accelerate that process through evergreen grazing systems and to work towards pastoral and agropastoral systems, building on the models that we were just discussing, to be able to expand and accelerate the process of increasing tree cover in pastoral areas. Of course, some of the tree cover in pastoral zones is not good cover. We do have problems with invasive species, and they are spreading in various areas. And in order to actually cope with that problem, we need to actually use assisted natural regeneration to remove the invasives and stimulate the growth of the good acacia and other dryland species that are indigenous to the areas and provide excellent feed sources. So in some cases, removing the vegetation will be the solution to producing a more viable, a more productive evergreen grazing system. As part of the effort to actually build partnerships around evergreen grazing systems and evergreen agriculture, where we're integrating useful trees directly into crop fields to provide fodder and fertilizer and fuel, wood and timber and fruits to farming populations or agropastoral populations as well, we have developed what is known as the Evergreen Agriculture Partnership, which is an alliance of many organizations in government, the private sector, the research community, as well as the NGO development community, who are on the ground stimulating projects and programs to build capacity to apply the concepts of evergreen agriculture and evergreen grazing systems. This map shows the countries where the Evergreen Agriculture Partnership is active in supporting these efforts, and you'll notice that many of the pastoral and agropastoral areas of the continent are covered by this partnership. And we look forward to building a stronger relationship with those with the pastoral associations, the organizations like IUCN and the World Partnership on Sustainable Pastoralism, the WISP network, to be able to create a more comprehensive alliance and focus on using the models that have been successful to adapt to conditions on a much wider area. This is the scope that we hope to discuss today, and to build relationships with you in the audience, looking at the kinds of programs that you're engaged with, not only in Africa, but in other continents across the world, to create a more definitive momentum in building sustainable pastoralism through evergreen grazing systems. So let me conclude my remarks by indicating some of the key points that we tried to cover. Number one, degradation of grazing lands is a very serious African and global crisis. Of that we're all aware. The concept of evergreen grazing systems has taken root in agropastoral and pastoral areas in Africa, and we feel that now is the time to build those relationships and partnerships to a much greater degree, to get the word out that there are successful models at very large scale that provide both inspiration and technical solutions, as well as governance solutions, to overcome the kinds of difficulties that pastoral communities face in managing their lands. And this, of course, will involve a lot of conflict resolution within the scope of these governance systems, since the arc of conflict of countries in Africa stretching through the Sahel to the Horn of Africa, where we face serious problems of